Today we are covering designing Microsoft Azure infrastructure solutions. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. Question is, you need to implement the Azure RBAC role assignments for the network contributor role. The solution must meet the authentication and authorization requirements. What is the minimum number of assignments that you must use? Option A 1, option B 2, option C 5, option D 10, option E 15. Correct answer is option A. Next question is, you plan to migrate App 1 to Azure. You need to recommend a network connectivity solution for Azure storage account that will host the App 1 data. The solution must meet the security and compliance requirements. What should you include in the recommendation? Option A, Microsoft peering for an express route circuit. Option B, Azure public peering for an express route circuit. Option C, a service endpoint that has a service endpoint policy. Option D, a private endpoint. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, you plan to migrate App 1 to Azure. The solution must meet the authentication and authorization requirements. Which type of endpoint should App 1 use to obtain an access token? Option A, Azure Instance Metadata Service (IMDS). Option B, Azure AD. Option C, Azure Service Management. Option D, Microsoft Identity Platform. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, you migrate App 1 to Azure. You need to ensure that the data storage for App 1 meets the security and compliance requirement. What should you do? Option A, create an access policy for the blob. Option B, modify the access level of the blob service. Option C, implement Azure Resource Locks. Option D, create Azure RBAC assignments. Correct answer is option C. Next question is, you plan to migrate DB1 and DB2 to Azure. You need to ensure that the Azure database and the service tier meet the resiliency and business requirements. What should you configure? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. This is answer area. And this is the correct answer. Next question is, you plan to migrate App 1 to Azure. You need to recommend a storage solution for App 1 that meets the security and compliance requirements. Which type of storage should you recommend, and how should you recommend configuring the storage? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. This is the answer area. And this is the correct answer. Next question is, you plan to migrate App 1 to Azure. You need to estimate the compute cost for App 1 in Azure. The solution must meet the security and compliance requirements. What should you use to estimate the cost, and what should you implement to minimize the cost? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. This is the answer area. And this is the correct answer. Next question is, you plan to migrate app 1 to Azure. You need to recommend a high availability solution for app 1. The solution must meet the resiliency requirements. What should you include in the recommendation? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Bottom section is the answer area. And this is the correct answer.